her home. Do you understand that? The cops have never been called to bring her home. She willfully walked out of Dan's roommate's house and went home with your wife because with your ex-wife, because your ex-wife told her she wanted the drugs that she stole, the money that she stole, and she told her if she returned home with her, she would go ahead and allow her to have the relationship with Dan. No police ever brought your daughter back. The only time that the police were ever involved was in 2009 when a nurse, officers and 2 CPS workers went out to the home. They spoke to Gypsy. They saw an ID that proved that Gypsy was over the age of 18. Dee Dee provided them with medical records that showed that she did have some of the developmental delays and the actual physical ailments that she had. Gypsy told them that nothing was wrong, and Gypsy did not leave. They gave her the opportunity to leave that day, and she did not. She could have walked out of there with the police that day, and she chose to stay because she wanted to continue in the con, Rod. I'm sorry. The only time she decided it was no longer suiting to her and decided to unalive her mother is when her mom told her she could not be with boys. Men, lots of them, Rod, lots of them. We have proof of this.
The cops wouldn't get her or nothing. Dee Dee got her back home, and she was scared.
No,
that was her way.
She didn't have to go home with her, Rod. Why wouldn't she have just, why didn't she call the police that day? They would have come out and verified her ID.
I don't know. I can't answer that. That's a good question.
Exactly. You can't answer that. That's the problem. She had every opportunity to leave, and she did not. So I do not believe that abuse is the motivating factor for the reason that she killed your wife. I believe your ex-wife, there is many, many other reasons that we believe is a motivation for this, sir.
Well,
and I can show them to you. The investigators did not continue to investigate after your daughter took a plea deal. They were instructed by Dan Patterson to stop investigating. They already had a confession from her co-defendant. They did none of the investigating, and the officers in the case said that they were investigating a long financial fraud, and they were very upset that they did not get to take this to trial because they believed they had evidence to prove why this was done, and it had nothing to do with abuse. You and HBO, your wife, Gypsy, all changed that narrative, and you have lied to the public for 9 years. Not you specifically, I don't think, but your wife and your child have. Your daughter, Mia, even is calling her out in front of her. Can you not see the writing on the wall, Rod? She's a very disturbed girl, and she needs help. You're denying that she has medical conditions. You're denying that it has anything to do, that she has any medical conditions related to the chromosome disorder. And do you understand, for the health of your grandchild, that is rather dangerous.
I don't think Gypsy has any medical conditions.
Rod, she has medical conditions. She's taking medications. She has conditions from this, Rod. They're proven in her medical records. What are you talking about?
She got a full checkup.
Rod, can I ask you a question? Can you please go to Rare Chromo? Please go to rarechromo.org, type in the microdeletion of the 1Q21.1 that she has, and look at the 11 or 12 page document that they have. If you do so, it lists every single one of Gypsy's conditions throughout her life as being part of this type of disorder, sir. And it has varying levels of degrees of severity, from no symptoms whatsoever all the way up to a baby being born with severe microcephaly that cannot last outside of the womb for more than a few days. There are serious ramifications, and if you have not done genetic counseling, sir, you're not protecting your grandchildren. You're not protecting Mia's grandchildren. You're not protecting any of Dylan's children, and you're not protecting Nicolette's children, and you're not protecting Gypsy's children because you're choosing to be willfully ignorant. Just go get the counseling done, sir. I'm trying to save your grandchild's life.
Oh, God, Fancy, thank you so much.
Well, you can be a shithead about it, or you can actually go do the genetic counseling that was recommended to you several times. Your daughter even made a post that she feels that maybe she's a bad mom at this point right now because she didn't realize that it could be passed down. Well, you know who did know that it could be passed down? Your wife, because I told her that in 2019, and so did Titania.
Gypsy has a doctor that she's seeing about her baby.
What kind of doctor?
That, you know,
No,
Baby
is it
doctor.
a general
I feel like
practice
this is
doctor or
getting
is it a
extremely
specialist?
abusive, this conversation. I think it's getting out of hand,
We need to,
and it's being, I think this is, it's
to
an
sit here
attack.
and go
Yeah.
through her. Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I
If you
think
guys
this
want to
is-
have, if Rod and Fancy, if you guys want to have that conversation, I just feel like it's getting a little hot and you know what I mean? And I feel like without anything in front of Rod, we can't expect him to answer. You can't expect him to know or remember on the spot or so. I feel like
Sure. I agree with that. I agree.
It looks unfair to Rod, and so I'm going to call that
Well,
one.
that's why I've repeatedly
But,
asked him to
again,
speak to me privately.
Right. If you guys want to have a private conversation, absolutely. I just feel
Thank you
like
for allowing me to speak
Rod
with you,
is
Rod.
prepared for that. Yeah.
I
Thank
rethink.
you.
Okay, Rod, I'm serious. If you would like some information, please reach out to me. I will enemy of you. I am not an enemy of your family. I simply want to tell the truthful story, sir. So if you would like to speak to me further, please, Rod, Christy has my phone number. You can call me. I've asked her to call me several times through Jasmine, and she did not, because I wanted to tell you this before I found out she was pregnant, because I got confirmation this year. Okay? I would like to have a further conversation with you, and I do agree that doing this without him being able to prepare himself is not okay. But I wanted to very much put into your head things to think about.
Fancy, I think we can have a conversation till you blue in the face.
What'd you say?
Couple simple facts. I think we can have a conversation till you blue in the face. You're not going to change my belief in his motive.
Well,
Or
that's
unalive.
fine, Rod, but can you please agree to tell your wife and your child to stop harassing, stalking, and cyberbullying me? Because what I have, I am bringing with facts and
Hi,
evidence.
guys. I'm going to call. Yeah, I'm going to call.
Thank
this.
you.
yeah, I think
All right, I'll step down.
If you don't mind, hi Rod, my name is Jennifer. I just wanted to, I feel like earlier when Francie was explaining to the Munchausen's by proxy and the malingering, that maybe it wasn't explained to you what she was trying to say. When Munchausen by proxy, there's always a win in it for the abuser. You know, they make the person sick and then they get them better, and there's kind of this heroic thing that goes along with it. And I think what she was trying to get you to understand is that's not what wasn't Dee Dee's pattern, you know, to get Gypsy sick and then to get her better and be the hero and, you know, always running to the rescue. And I think that's where that, you know, the gray area is that we don't see here, that the malingering, that there was so much. And especially when Gypsy was older, that we feel like she was playing into a part to keep that going for financial gain, because, you know, the sicker she was, the more rewards came with it. So, you know, and there was a point where